正解。
Rebirth of the malicious empress of military lineage. Side story 1. Thousands of possibilities. Crazy couple. The matter of Shen Miao waking up almost shocked the entire court. A person who slept on every day, and no matter how another saw her, there was no way one would wake up. When no one any hope, who knew that it was at this time when Xi Jingxing brought the two babies out, Shen Miao would wake up by herself. When both of them returned to the palace, they almost shocked everyone till their teeth fall off. Shen Xin and wife came out with Shen Kaiyu, and when they saw that Shen Miao was standing perfectly fine in front of them, Lu Zuyan immediately started bawling. Shen Xin and Shen Kaiyu stood there blankly for a long time, even though they did not express themselves like Lu Zuyan. Their eyes could not help but become red. Lu Dan reached out to touch Shen Miao's hair. Is this real? Is my eyes alright? Zhao Yang, pinch me and see if this real or not. Zhao Yang was not there as he was rushing to invite Zhao Zan over. After Zhao Zan arrived, he took Shen Miao pulsed and clicked his tongue in wonder. Her ladyship the Empress's pulse is stable. Everything is alright. Everyone released a long sigh of relief. The Shen family arrived at Great Liang shortly after Xi Jingxing was enthroned and was unable to accept after they came to know that Shen Miao was in a coma. They insisted on bringing Shen Miao around the lands to look for renowned doctors, and thinking that it was not possible for Xi Jingxing to let a sleeping person become an empress, and even though if one was the empress, in the future, one's heart would change easily and retained an entire inner palace of women. Shen Xin was firm in bringing Shen Miao away. However, Xi Jingxing was not willing and even knelt down to beg Shen Xin. At the end, he even used Mo Yun army to threaten and almost went to battle with Shen Xin's troops. It was Lu Tan and Lu Zuyan that came to persuade and even mention Chu Yi and Shi Wu. Shen Xin had no other choice, but he was afraid that others would create trouble for Shen Miao and made Shen Miao suffer grievances. Thus he handed over the Shen family army and the Lu family army to Lu Ling and stationed his family in the palace permanently. It was so that it was easier to watch over Shen Miao to avoid any accidents. This was actually a violation of the rules and regulation, but Xi Jingxing was happy about it, as it was good that there were people chatting and accompanying Shen Miao. For this half a year, the Shen family also personally witnessed Xi Jingxing treating Shen Miao wholeheartedly, just like in the past, and their hearts gradually settled down. Speaking of these things, Shen Miao had mixed feelings. She had not thought that upon waking up, she was able to see her loved ones. Seeing everyone well and peaceful was a blessing that she dared not wished for. Cao. Ji Yushu said, now that you are awake, those officials would not dared to talk nonsense. You do not know that for the past half a year, the officials of Long Yi had been played by Imperial older Biao brother badly. Xi Jingxing took a glance at him. Talk too much. Ji Yushu quickly coughed. After Shen Miao fell into deep sleep, Xi Jingxing had no patience with anyone other than the Shen family, Chu Yi and Shi Wu, much less verbally sparing with others. His sinister approach to matters, however, was a higher level, thus one dared not provoke him. Return after finishing your questions. Xi Jingxing looked coldly at the talking crowd. The skies are dark, so don't disturb Zen's Empress's rest. He emphasized the words Zen's Empress heavily. When Shen Kaiyu saw it, he wanted to roll up his sleeves and fight with Xi Jingxing. In the past 6 months, both of them would exchange pointers behind the scenes. It was said to be exchanging of pointers, but it was in actually showing their dissatisfaction with one another. Shen Kaiyu's heart was filled with unhappiness that Shen Miao fell into a coma because of Xi Jingxing. Moreover, he was not in good terms with Xi Jingxing in the beginning. Xi Jingxing did not like Shen Kaiyu being nosy. There was no need for outsiders to manage his wife. Even her eldest brother could not do it. Now seeing that Xi Jingxing using his sovereignty upon Shen Miao's return, Shen Kaiyu's heart did not feel good. However, Lu Zuyin spoke. It is correct. Zhao just woke up, but we asked so many questions. Thus she would be inevitably dizzy. It is better to let her rest for a while. Anyways, there is still a lot of time in the future and we can speak slowly. Shen Miao actually wanted to listen to the matters of the past 6 months that everyone spoke about, but after thinking about it, She also agreed it would not be clear for everything to be said at once and it was better to speak slowly since there was time. After everyone dispersed, Shen Miao returned to the sleeping chambers. She went to wash up first. Jings and the few of them were waiting on her as she bathed, and as they were serving, their tears rolled down. "Fu, your ladyship is finally awake." These servants had previously thought that it would be great if one was able to wait upon your ladyship for one more bath. One did not know if Heavens would be willing to give this one more chance. One had not thought that Heavens is virtuous enough and gave these servants a chance. "Your ladyship, in the future these servants would serve you like this every day." She had not known that just bathing once, these maids would be weeping and making her aspirated. She then had to coax these maids with soft words instead. She knew deep in her heart that her half-year of sleep had most likely scared these maids badly. After wiping her body and drying her hair dry, Shen Miao put on the clothes and walked out and also instructed the nanny to carry Chu Yi and Shi Wu in. Both children were carried onto the bed, and because they were often carried by Zi Jingxing to Shen Miao previously, both children were no stranger to her scent. Even though Shen Miao had not woken up before, they smiled as they looked at her and curiously extended their small hands to play with her hair. Shen Miao's entire heart was almost filled up with the two children. She reached her fingers out to tease the children. As they were twins and they were equally lively, the nannies would not be able to tell them apart normally. Thus they put on different clothes for them. Chu Yi wore blue clothes while Shi Wu wore red clothes. Chu Yi grabbed onto Shen Miao's finger and laughed. Shen Miao also started laughing. When Zi Jingxing came back in, he saw Shen Miao lying on the bed with the two little fellows with all smiles. He walked over and poked fun. "Have become silly after sleeping for half a year? Smile so silly. I am looking at my sons." Shen Miao rolled her eyes at him. "What does it got to do with you? That is also my sons." Zi Jingxing raised his brows. "Without me, how would you give birth?" Shen Miao could not be bothered with him and played with Chu Yi and Shi Wu happily. Zi Jingxing took off his outer robes before walking over and reached his hands out to embrace her. "There are nothing good to look at these two silly little fools. You have not given them names?" "The names, Chu Yi and Shi Wu, are just too casual." Shen Miao complained. "You just named them randomly." "Who said that I named them randomly?" Zi Jingxing said. "One wait for you to wake up and name them." "You are not afraid that I would not wake up?" Zi Jingxing said lazily. "Then they would be called Zi Chu Yi and Zi Shi Wu." Shen Miao was speechless. One did not know if the two little fellows on the bed understood Zi Jingxing's words as they started calling out yo-yo sounds. Shen Miao quickly reached out to coax them, but Zi Jingxing pulled her arms back to his embrace. "After not seeing for half a year, you don't miss me at all? This is so cold." After a moment of silence, Shen Miao suddenly turned around and shook herself out from Zi Jingxing's embrace. She crossed her arms around her chest and stared at Zi Jingxing with a smile, but not a smile. Zi Jingxing suddenly felt his back going a little numb. She said, "Little Zi Marquis, do you know what you did?" Zi Jingxing was unable to make heads or tails of it. "What did one do?" Shen Miao smiled coldly. Summer was good as butterflies were playing and bees were flying around. There were birds chirping everywhere and the pedestrians filled the streets as horses galloped by. The stall's owner were shouting out their wares from the east to the west of the city, making the entire atmosphere bustling. Shen Miao was wearing a yellow long-sleeved robes and her hair was up in 100 knots. The robes were brightly colored and with the addition of a complicated hairstyle, it looked disorderly. Including her gold and silver jewelry and heavy makeup, it looked was exceptionally stupid. The people around took a glance and also put on a look of one watching a joke. Shen Miao's gaze was somewhat bleak. She was clearly in the imperial palace of Great Liang a moment ago, and was in the brink of death, thus she thought that she had died. However, at the next moment, she was at this lively street. She was not a stranger to this street. This was in Mingqi's Ding capital. What was going on? From Longyi to Ding capital, one would not be able to arrive at a blink of an eye. Could it be that she was dreaming? But Shen Miao did not think it was. Jings and Gu Yu was following behind and both of them as usual had looks of being careful. Shen Miao looked at her clothes. It seemed that she had returned back to a long time ago, long enough that she had just started to fall in love with Fu Ziyu. Could it be that because of the rebirth, this was a dream, which was then reality, which was the dream? Shen Miao felt her head hurt and she reached her hand out to hold her forehead. Gu Yu jumped in shock when she saw it. Is young lady not feeling well anywhere? Shen Miao shook her head and was about to speak when she saw a familiar person on the corner of the streets. That person was dressed in rags and there was a horsetail whisk in his hand as he shook his head and one did not know what he was mumbling about. However, Shen Miao's eyes brightened up and ran over to that person without caring to speak more. Jing's and Gu Yu was unable to stop her and could only follow as Shen Miao walked to that person. Kaiyan Taoist priest. Shen Miao shouted. That strange Taoist priest turned over and was in all smiles. It was indeed Kaiyan Taoist priest. When Kaiyan Taoist priest saw her, he had a look of surprise. Furen, why are you here? Shen Miao noticed that he called her Furen and not young lady. Jing said angrily. Who are you calling Furen? Don't anyhow call. Our young lady is not married yet. Shen Miao stopped Jing's words and said to Kaiyan Taoist priest, Taoist priest, let's step aside to talk. Young lady. Jing's and Gu Yu became so anxious. Shen Miao's brows became firm. Listen to me. She was so fierce that both maids were startled and dared not speak. Shen Miao and Kaiyan walked to another part of the temple ruins while Jing's and Gu Yu guarded outside. Shen Miao looked at Kaiyan Taoist priest and hesitated for a little before finally asking, Taoist priest knows me? One has 3 encounters with Furen. The Taoist priest showed 3 with his fingers. Once in the past lifetime, twice during the rebirth. It was 3 times. Shen Miao hurriedly asked, Taoist priest, do you know what is going on? Why am I here? She was clearly losing her life, so without any rhyme and reason, why would she return to Ming Chi's Ding capital? To the very beginning. Could it be everything with Zi Jingxing and everything that happened in Great Liang, like giving birth, were just like an illusion of wealth? If it was a dream, then it felt too real. Furen's lifeline is very strange. The Taoist priest said, even though there is an opportunity of rebirth, one's fate is disturbed and one's life is robbed. Now this is the last hurdle to cross. This has nothing to do with other and Furen can only depend on oneself. Shen Miao frowned. What is the meaning of Taoist priest's words? In the previous lifetime, someone request an opportunity of rebirth for you, but in the 10 of thousands of possibilities, you might be able to know and fall in love with the people you do in the rebirth lifetime and might also know and fall in love with others. Furen, you have 2 choices. Shen Miao clenched her fist. What choices? Currently Furen's body is most likely in coma. You can choose to stay in this dream and search for another possibility. Thus from now onwards, everything would be redone and one could choose another life. However, that body would forever sleep and not wake. And the other possibility is? Shen Miao asked. You can look for that male in your life and let that male in this dream believe in you and bring him back to Great Liang and to the imperial palace of Great Liang. From the moment one step into Great Liang's imperial palace, your body would wake up. Shen Miao was startled. But this is very difficult. The Taoist priest stroked his beard. Now to this male, you are a stranger. It is very difficult for you to convince him to go with you to Great Liang. Shen Miao's head hurt. This is just not possible. With Zi Jingxing's personality, his acuteness and suspicions, he would not believe others easily. Even the Shen Miao after rebirth was in a stalemate with Zi Jingxing for a long time. Currently, Shen Miao looked at her current appearance. It would be strange if Zi Jingxing believed her. Furen, speaking of that, the Taoist priest spoke. Furen naturally can remain in this dream. There is no different in this dream and reality. Furen can live one's life here and restart, making things easier. If one were to choose the second choice, it would be very difficult. Shen Miao lowered her head and asked after a moment, does Taoist priest still have red strings? How about giving me 2? Kaiyan paused and sized Shen Miao up like he did not know her before, suddenly smiling. Furen still want to choose that route? I can live like this. It is also good like this. Shen Miao smiled gently. But even if there were 10 of thousands of possibilities, I am not willing to let him feel sad in even one due to me. I will go and get acquainted with him first. If the mountain doesn't come to me, then I will go to the mountain. The predestined fate that Taoist priest bestow to me, when it disappears, I will look for it myself," she said. Kayant said, "What an emotional fool. In this case, this poor priest would bestow you a way out." He found 2 red strings from his clothes. Furan, "One wish you all the best." Shen Miao bowed and turned around to leave. Jings and Gu Yu felt somewhat strange these days. First it was that Shen Miao had changed her love for wearing gold and silver in the past and started to wear more matured colors, but it was strangely good. Second was that she no longer went along with the usual treatment of second and third household and most of the time would be disdainful of them. The third one was that in the past she would secretly instruct people to inquire about Prince Ding's news, but she did not mention anything these days, as if she did not remember such a person. Finally was that she was always walking around on the streets. Zi Jingxing was one who liked to go around. Today he would go to brothels, tomorrow he would attend banquets. Even though she knew that it was his disguise, Shen Miao's state of mind is now different. Upon seeing Zi Jingxing attracting bees and butterflies like this, she hated that she could not trample both his legs. However, as she was making discreet inquiries of Zi Jingxing's whereabouts, she could only follow secretly. For this past half a month, there were no repeats and he almost went around the entire Ding capital. There was one evening when Shen Miao let Jings and Gu Yu stay at one side while she personally went up to the entrance of the residence of the Marquis of Linen. There was a refreshing look when she was dressed like a male, and in addition that the people in Ding capital view her as an idiot who wear gold and silver. Naturally she would not be associated with the 5th young lady of the Shen family. From afar, one was able to see Zi Jingxing returning on horseback. There was Jiao Yang and Ji Yushu that were following behind him. He was indeed a playboy who frequent brothels, and he would see with one glance that she was dressed in male clothes. Ji Yushu even whistled as he smiled. "Third older brother, there is another beauty throwing herself again." Shen Miao was dumbfounded. Zi Jingxing flipped over and gotten off the horse. He glanced at her, but one did not know what it meant before he headed towards the doors. Shen Miao grabbed onto him. "Little Zi Marquis." Zi Jingxing stopped. "Let's talk," she said. In the room, Zi Jingxing poured a cup of tea for her and stared lazily at her. "Shen Miao, the 5th Shen young lady, has been following me for half a month. Could it be that you have really fallen in love with me?" His words were frivolous, but his gaze was sharp and arrogant like always. He had long investigated her background thoroughly but did not say anything. Shen Miao's head ached. To let the great Liangser wake up early, then one had to get this Zi Jingxing to Long Yi, then one would wake up from the dream. But in this dream, Zi Jingxing was just as stubborn and suspicious. So what should she say? To say that she was Zi Jingxing's wife, or say that she had gave birth to 2 children for him? Would Zi Jingxing think that she had gone crazy? She said, "Little Zi Marquis, can you accompany me to Great Liang?" Before the voice landed, a strong wind approached, and before Shen Miao could react, her throat was grasped tightly. His voice was indifferent and there was a silent killing intent. "What do you know?" Shen Miao was somewhat unable to breath. She knew that it would be like this. With Zi Jingxing's overbearing temperament, no matter what was said, nothing would go in. Even if she wanted to explain, it would not be possible. Seeing her gasping with difficulty, it seemed that she did not have martial arts skills. Thus Zi Jingxing slightly loosened his hand. Shen Miao was angry and anxious as she fumed. "Scoundrel!" Zi Jingxing's gaze was biting cold. "Your guts are sure big." "Scoundrel, skirt chaser, no sense of shame, destroying the bridge after crossing the river, heart of wolves and lungs of dogs." She did not stop scolding. Zi Jingxing was stunned and unconsciously released his hands. After a while he laughed. "5th Shen young lady, I don't seem to have offended you." Shen Miao covered her neck and said, "Bring me to Great Liang." Just as Zi Jingxing was about to flare up, one heard Shen Miao speaking, "When you bring me to Great Liang, I will tell you what I know." Zi Jingxing crossed his arms and looked coldly at her before he smiled slightly. Apologies, I have totally no interest in what you know. He sat down on the table and drank the tea unhurriedly. But I will spare your life today if one discover if you have other conspiracies. Fifth, Shen young lady should also know that I am not a good person. Shen Miao was slightly dazed. This I am not a good person sentence was said to her by Zi Jingxing previously. Fifth, Shen young lady still does not want to leave, want to stay overnight in my marquee residence? He said with a smile, but not a smile. There is no problem for me, Shen Miao said. No sense of shame. And she walked away in anger. After Shen Miao left, Zi Jingxing became cold as he called out, Tai Yi. A person clad in black appeared in the room. Investigate Shen Miao of the Shen family, he said. The black-clad person complied and left. It was very difficult for Shen Miao to chase Zi Jingxing. No matter if it was the real Zi Jingxing or the dream Zi Jingxing, both of them were equally hateful and would make Shen Miao grit her teeth in anger. It was especially so in the dream. Now in the dream, Shen Miao was considered as a stranger to Zi Jingxing. Previously one was notorious for being stupid and liking Fu Ziyu. Now that one changed the target, one would find that she was inconsistent to others' description and would find that she had very deep schemes. Moreover, she might even know about his true identity, and one did not know what she was scheming about. Zi Jingxing was wary of her and it was no easy to get close to him. Shen Miao could only follow him secretly every day and find of ways to say a few words to him. Zi Jingxing also knew that she was following but pretended not to know. It was Jiao Yang and Ji Yushu would often laugh at him with provoking words. On the third day of the 7th month, it was Zi Jingxing's birthday. She felt that in reality during Zi Jingxing's birthday, she was squabbling with Zi Jingxing because of Mai Furan, and afterwards when she stopped squabbling, Zi Jingxing was in shock and fear due to the assassin. Thinking that since it was as such, it would be good to make up a birthday celebration with Zi Jingxing in the dream. She went out early to book a banquet at Yanyu Pavilion. She had a lot of gold and silver jewelry that she pawned all away. One banquet table in Yanyu Pavilion cost 1,000 of gold, and even though Jings and Guyu was so anxious that their eyes turned red, Shen Miao did not listen at all. It was just a dream and money were merely worldly possessions. What more in a dream? She had thought that when it was evening, she would drag Zi Jingxing over, and in this banquet, perhaps they could talk and discuss about the matter of Great Liang. The implications were rather complicated, and even if it was explained, Zi Jingxing might not understand or perhaps thought that she was spouting nonsense. She followed behind Zi Jingxing to Qian Jinlu. Zi Jingxing was drinking with a few of the Ding capital's noble sons, but one also saw Qin King. Qin King was the young lady of the left imperial censor family and had painted with Shen Miao during the academy examinations. Qin King appeared beautifully and was wearing blue wide-sleeved embroidered robes with a goose yellow belt around her waist, showcasing her slender waistline. The fluttering of her clothes gave her some fairy-like look. Qin King had always been proud of her beauty and ordinary people would not enter her eyes, but at this moment she followed her eldest brother and sat down. Her gaze would also unconsciously land on Zi Jingxing. There was only tender sentiments, and where would there be the usual pride? Only fools would not be able to see that Qin King had interest in Zi Jingxing. Eldest Qin brother had the intention to pull strings and deliberately kept a sitting position open so that Qin King and Zi Jingxing could sit together. Shen Miao looked at the other side and did not know what Qin King and Zi Jingxing was talking about. That Zi Jingxing laughed timorously, while Qin King turned her head shyly. From afar, they were really like a couple. The rims of Shen Miao's eyes were somewhat sour. She knew that this was a dream and also knew that the current Zi Jingxing did not recognize her or like her. She knew that he was putting an act for others and would not be able to manage him, but she just felt sad. She thought of the reality in Great Liang, if there would be a beauty besides Zi Jingxing in the future with fragrant clothes and beautiful appearance. In tens of thousands of possibility, it was not possible for him to keep on choosing her. She closed her eyes as she felt that the toasting scene was especially offensive and could no longer watch on. Thus she turned around and left. She walked away but walked to Yanyu Pavilion. The banquet that was booked in Yanyu Pavilion was the best feast and the location was good as it was located at the highest level. When one looked out the window, one could see the fireworks and moon. Shen Miao went in alone. In the huge banquet, there was only her sitting alone. Exquisite dishes filled the table and they looked gorgeous but were unable to hide the loneliness of the banquet. She poured a cup of wine for herself. The wine was indeed a good one. It was fermented very long and the light sweet taste was long-lasting. She slowly drank it and would look at the moonlight every cup. The moonlight in the dream was really beautiful. In the real world, who was Zi Jingxing accompanying to look at the moon. She drank so much that her head was dizzy and she did not even hear that there were footsteps behind her. She however heard a teasing voice behind her. Wow, the Shen family indeed a big household with great undertaking. Even when the fifth Shen young lady eat alone, one have to eat a banquet at Yanyu Pavilion. Shen Miao turned around to look and saw Zi Jingxing walking casually over with a laugh in his lips. Shen Miao frowned. Zi Jingxing took a glance at the empty wine jugs. There were a few empty jugs that were a few fallen and another turned over. He teased, "To drink so much, is fifth Shen young lady in a bad mood?" Shen Miao stared straight at him. Zi Jingxing leaned forward slightly till his line in sight matches Shen Miao. Upon seeing her slightly red eyes, he was slightly stunned as he continued, "Could it be because of me?" Shen Miao still did not speak. Zi Jingxing said softly, "Because of Qin King?" Before the voice fell, Shen Miao suddenly threw herself at him. Both of her hands were hooked around Zi Jingxing's waist and her face was buried in his embrace. It was clearly a familiar stature, but why was an unfamiliar tone of voice used towards her? She sobbed spasmodically as she scolded, "No sense of shame. Is it that you want to annul the marriage with me? In the beginning when you marry me, you said clearly that there would not be any other women in the future and we would be a pair for one's entire lifetime. Zi Jingxing is a liar. Swindle me into the family and now still attract bees and butterflies. My eldest brother and father will definitely beat you up. Scoundrel. Bastard. Asshole." Zi Jingxing was horrified. "Since when did I say?" But Shen Miao was crying so tragically as she held him that Zi Jingxing swallowed his remaining words. The young girl in his arms cried so sadly and she was thrashing him, illustrating that she was really angry. Both of her hands were tightly clasped around his waist, just like a child, unwilling to even let go a little. Zi Jingxing hesitated for a moment before reaching out, wanting to pat this young female's shoulder. She was the fifth young lady of the Shen family, with the well-known reputation of being an idiot. The Shen family had nothing to do with him, thus he did not take any notice. Who knew that one day he would be fixated by Shen Miao and even seem to have good relations with him? Zi Jingxing was unable to make head or tail of it and was very suspicious of it, as Shen Miao seemingly knew about his great Liang secret. However, it seemed that he was unable to harden his heart to her. Upon hearing from Tai Yi that she was drunk in Yanyu Pavilion, he went there like demons and gods were at work. Zi Jingxing frowned as he stared at the person in his embrace. This body is warm and delicate and it seemed that his heart was also heated up a little. However, he felt a bit strange as this posture was somewhat familiar, like he had done this before. But where did he do it? In one's dream? He hesitated and spoke uncertainly, "Shen Miao, did I previously hug you like this before?" The crying in his embrace stopped short. Shen Miao lifted her head out from his embrace and stared at him. Under the moonlight, her rims of her eyes were red and swollen, but her eyes were sparkling, as if there was a new hope in the despair, making it look very moving. She stood on tiptoe and pulled Zi Jingxing's collar to bring him closer to her and kissed him fiercely. "You even kiss me like this?" she said. Afterwards, it was Shen Miao who annoyed Zi Jingxing till he had no choice but to finally agree to bring her to Great Liang. Perhaps in that dream when Zi Jingxing and Shen Miao disappeared, most likely the commoners of Mingqi would think that they had eloped. But so what about it? Upon reaching to Great Liang's imperial palace, one would wake up from the dream. In the nearly half-a-year journey, Shen Miao had told the dream Zi Jingxing of her story. She did not know whether Zi Jingxing would believe her or not. After Zi Jingxing listened, He did not say anything, but later there was one night that he spoke to Shen Miao. He said that Taoist priest did not speak correctly. Shen Miao was doubtful. What? In 10 of thousands of possibilities, I will only choose you. His lips hooked up to a smile as he took a red string from Shen Miao's hands and tied onto himself. Hurry along, Shen Zhao Zhao. Don't let the me in reality wait for too long. Zi Jingxing's eyes were bulging as he listened stunned. Shen Miao squinted her eyes at him. In that possibility of a dream, you are attracting bees and butterflies, going to brothels daily and kept on bullying me. You do not believe what I said to you and even doubt me that you strangle my neck. Zi Jingxing, do you know what you did? Her tone of voice was one of condemnation and it made Zi Jingxing silent. After a long while, he then said, the me in the dream is not me. It is still you in the dream. Shen Miao said angrily. Zi Jingxing quickly held her to smoothen her feathers. At the end, the me in the dream believed you and brought you back to Great Liang. This shows that there are only you in one's heart. He then touched his chin and said unhappily, but that kid is really fortunate since you actually took the initiative to kiss him. Shen Miao was unable to speak. Under heavens, only Zi Jingxing would drink his own vinegar. In this case, I would definitely apologize to Furen. Zi Jingxing said seriously and suddenly swooped Shen Miao up. One deserves to die for treating Furen coldly. Today Furen can do whatever one want. Chu Yi and Shi Wu. Let the wet nurse look after. Zi Jingxing carried her and headed out. However, his lips could not help but hooked up. Even though that person is very hateful in the dream, there is one thing that is not wrong. Shen Miao looked at him. What thing? In 10 of thousands of possibilities, I will only choose you. Only you. He said.